How could that be? Impossible. Terrence's eyes were bulging with disbelief. Although he did not put much effort into the job, at least he didn't make any mistakes. On top of that, he was carefree during his time with the company because he had the backing of the higher-ups. Given his social connections, it wouldn't make sense for him to get fired. He couldn't wrap his head around the situation. Terrence, you're fired? Julie was bug-eyed when she noticed the change in Terrence's expression. He had promised her the business contract, but how did he end up losing his job instead? It looks like there's trouble. Dahlia furrowed her brows and appeared pensive. She had pinned her hopes on Terrence, but he wouldn't be of any help anymore. Cole Sussman, be honest, were you playing dirty behind my back? Terrence fixed his gaze on Cole. Why would I do so when there's nothing between us? Plus, even if I wanted, I wouldn't have the power to do that. You should look at yourself for the reason, Cole said impassionately. He had long been frustrated by employees who were coasting at work, and he was more than pleased to see Terrence fired. Bullshit. No one else could have done that except for you. You must have ratted on me. Terrence glowered at him. He had embezzled money when he was on the job, and Cole must have found the evidence. Well, if you insist on thinking so, I can't do anything about it. Cole could not be bothered to explain himself. After all, he couldn't care less since Terrence was no longer an employee. You're wicked, Cole Sussman. Terrence's features contorted into a threatening scowl. If you think you've won, you're wrong. I'll let you know I have backing within the company. Even if I'm fired today, I will get rehired tomorrow. Oh, really? And who's that person backing you? Cole questioned him. You might want to sit down for this. My uncle is the CEO of the company, Terrence announced proudly. That explains why a guy like you would work your way into a managerial role. It's all thanks to your connection. Cole's expression fell. He heard about Terrence's jaw-dropping social connections, but he never thought that Terrence was a relative of the CEO. He worried that he might be in trouble. Are you afraid now? Terrence sneered. Sussman, if you were the one who ratted me out, you made the dumbest mistake in your life. Apologize to me now, or you'll be the one who's kicked out tomorrow. Given his uncle's authority in the company, getting rid of a manager was an easy task. Terrence Stone, don't be smug. Do you think you can do as you wish just because you have connections? Cole frowned disapprovingly. That's right. I can do anything I wish with the backing of my uncle. Why? Are you unhappy about it? What are you going to do? Terrence threw his head back and laughed, knowing that he'd be fine in any crisis as long as his uncle was in the company. Terrence, I didn't know your uncle was the CEO. That's amazing. Joel gave him a look of adoration. A department manager was nothing compared to the CEO. For Terrence, it was an exciting moment for him to show off his authority in front of everyone. However, things changed when Cole received a text on his phone. Cole was momentarily caught off guard by the content and checked it a few times before breaking into a grin. Why are you smiling? Terrence had a haughty look on his face. Terrence Stone, say goodbye to your good life. I just received a company-wide notice stating that your uncle has been terminated as well. You're both on a sinking ship together. You're finished. Cole declared boldly. Bullshit. Terrence shot him a glare. My uncle is the CEO. Who would have the guts to fire him? Mr. Brooks did that, of course. Cole said righteously. Nonsense. Terrence refused to believe it. My uncle is one of Mr. Brooks' right-hand men. Why would he be fired for no good reason? You should stop spewing lies. It's up to you if you believe it or not. Cole didn't want to waste time with Terrence anymore. Although he had no clue about what happened behind the scenes, it was clear that Terrence and his backing within the company were both removed. Are you trying to trick me now? Great. I'll call my uncle now and get him to teach you a lesson. While speaking, Terrence pulled out his phone, ready to tell on Cole, but he was stopped short when he heard a scream coming from the entrance. Terrence Stone, a man dressed in a suit with a bald spot on his head, charged in. Uncle? Terrence's eyes lit up in delight, and he cackled. Sussman, you're dead meat. My uncle's here. No one can save you now. Then, he readily jogged toward the man. Uncle, you showed up at the right time. That Sussman guy is a two-faced snake. His purposely shifting the blame onto me. You've got to stand up for me this time. Stand up for you? How about you fuck off? The man's nostrils flared, and he slapped Terence across the cheeks, sending the latter tumbling onto the ground. One might think he had a vendetta against Terence based on his furious expression. Why did you hit me? Terence pressed a hand on his cheek helplessly. Julie and the others quietly exchanged looks of confusion. Oh, if only I could tear you into pieces. The man unleashed his wrath on Terence. Who the fuck did you insult this time? I am in hot water because of you. What happened? Terence was utterly lost. How dare you fucking ask me? The man was a ball of fire as he gave Terence a second slap. Mr. Brooks fired me all because of you. I have to clear my desk. Worst of all, I'm about to be investigated. What? What happened? Terence froze. How could his uncle, the pillar of support for the company, be kicked out all of a sudden? Don't you know what you did? The man continued impatiently. Didn't you call Mr. Brooks yesterday and insult him in various ways? Yesterday? After a slight pause, Terence suddenly came to a realization. He recalled that he had chided a man named Big Bucks Brooks over Dustin's phone. Was that guy the real deal, not a scammer as he had believed? Oh, I'm done for, thought Terence, who slumped onto the floor with a ghastly look on his face.